Hello and welcome back to the North American Rival Series. I'm your host, and once again, I am joined by Sleegy and Meet and Greek. Guys, we just saw a fantastic matchup there between Chaos Esports and Mirage. Chaos Esports walking away with a 3-0 sweep. We got our next match now. It's going to be Warriors International versus RBG Esports. And both these teams kind of sitting down a bit low, sitting at the 8th and 10th spots in the standings currently. And Sleegy, I'm going to start with you here. Why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown here on this RBG team and kind of what are some of their strong suits, and I mean, what do they really have to look out for here?
Well, I mean, RBG, they're sitting at 0-4. They're at the bottom of the table, but they've had such an unfortunate season so far. I mean, they've had 2 close losses in Game 5 against the #1 Stromboli and the #2 Omni Nation. They've got the talent on their team. I mean, Porklet is 2nd overall in the league for gold participation at 79%. They've got all the pieces. They haven't been able to make it work up to this point. And, you know, I really feel for them. This game is a must win. They have to do something to change their momentum, because if they can't capture a win here, they've got a rough road ahead of them. And I really feel like they've got the talent to do it. They just need to show up and do it.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have been struggling quite a bit this season. All their losses coming from teams kind of all over the board. They have losses against 72 Pin Connector, Chaos Esports, Omni Nation, and Stromboli. So, I mean, they're really trying to get their feet under them, but they've got to start winning games. Otherwise, they are going to be looking at being eliminated from the rival series by the end of the season. And so, George, that leads me into my question for you, which is just, what does Warrior International have here that's going to help them take this series, or what do they have to be on the lookout for against RBG?
Well, Ryan, this is something to think about. This is definitely a very good squad. They're a contender squad. They've lost to only the top 4 teams in the rival series, so there's nothing really to laugh at here for Warriors International. They're sitting at 1-3, but a 3-0 win here could propel them to 6th place, and all of a sudden they're in the thick of it. If they win but they get anything lower than a 3-0 win, they would still be behind absolute leverage and game differential. So again, here for Warriors International, and kind of the same thing for RBG as well. Maybe a top 3 placement at the end of the season just might be a little bit out of reach for them. But I think for both these teams overall, they're still very much in it, can still stay in with the middle of the pack and re-qualify for next season of rival series if they just play their hearts out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, really at this point, whenever you find yourself at this position in the standings, that is kind of the name of the game. Just fight, try to get yourself in for next season, come back improved and fight again. But Warriors International, I'm still not entirely sure I want to count them out just yet. They've got 3 losses out of 4 games. And again, like you said, those come from top 4 teams. They can still very much claw their way back up to those higher points, but we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how that turns out for them. But I just want to kind of get predictions from you guys real quick. And Greek, I'll start with you this time. How do you think this one's going to go, man?
This is the toughest one to predict for today. We have the number 18 going up against number 10. I just think, all right, actually, I know what I'm going to do, because today, Porklet tweeted out, today is the day. Everything is on the line. I'm going with RBG Esports. It's going to be a tough battle. We're going to go all the way to Game 5. I know I said it last series, but this series just so much more on the line. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
All right, Sleegy, give me your predictions.
I'm going to have to side with George on this one. I also think it's going to be RBG. You know, just looking at how they've played and who they've played, I really think that they're the team that is bringing more into the field. And especially with them being in this sort of pressure situation, I don't see them leaving anything left up to chance. They're going to be giving it their 110% in this game.
See, I got to go against both of you guys here. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, RBG still has yet to win a game. I love this team. They're great guys, but at the end of the day, we talked about it. 2nd overall in goal participation there for Porklet. He's got 79% goal participation. That means if he's not scoring, these guys are done. And so Warriors International just have a simple plan of action they need to follow, in my opinion. Lock Porklet down, and you've got an easy win on your hands. So I've got to take it against them. I'm going Warriors International, but I think it might be close. I'm going to call it in 4. But before we go, guys, before I hand it off to y'all, I want to let you guys at home know you can go get some cool merch like this rival hat and a couple other things by doing !store there in chat, and you can get some of this yourself. It's pretty nice stuff. I love wearing it. But also, if you guys want to let us know your predictions, do !WAR for Warriors International and !RBG. What else could it have been for RBG Esports? And it looks like it's at 50-50 right now for the audience. Guys, I'm going to hand this one off to y'all. So good luck.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it,
Ryan.
And you know, heading into this, we're on the same page this time. I sort of learned my lesson, I think, from that first one. But, you know, leading into this, I 100% agree. I think RBG, I think they've just got more to lose, to be 100% honest with you. And I think that's going to push them to the limits, and we'll see what ends up happening here in this game.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's get right into game one. RBG versus Warriors International. This is going to be a close series. Let's get this going.
Well, it's going to start off with an immediate push from Tool. Ooh, he could have had a double touch there as well. Buddy wasn't able to find that touch. Missed opportunity to start things off, and a good clear from Thunder all the way downfield. Going to be off of this right wall. Tool gets the ground pinch over to Porklet. That's close, but no cigar, as they almost capitalized on an amazing passing play.
And already, even though they weren't able to score right there, you can just feel the energy coming from RBG. They are in it to win it here. And if they can keep this tempo up, I think they're going to give the Warriors International a very tough time.
We'll see how it continues to develop from here. Another good pass downfield. Porklet, looking to get a touch to send it out there to Bambi, but not able to get there quite in time. It'll be Wiz getting it over to Thunder, but Porklet cutting it off, sending it downfield. Buddy to receive, but Porklet not able to find that touch. It's a follow-up from Bambi. Tools there. He's looking for the follow-up, but he's just so far to the right that he can't get the actual touch necessary. But the passing plays so far for RBG have been on point. They've been getting the ball to each other. They just haven't been able to execute once they've received the pass.
Yeah, they need to start putting these shots on target if they want to become a threat here to the Warriors. We'll see if they can keep this up, as Tool is going to try to bring this one around the corner. Can't get it past Thunder, though, as he's trying desperately to get this out. It comes up to Jay Wiz to bring it downtown. He actually puts it on net and gets it past the entire RBG defense, and they were just caught sleeping.
Yeah, Porklet was pushing up for the pass. Tool was all the way in the blue half trying to find boost, and so no one there to respond. It's just a simple goal for Warriors International, and they take the lead in this game. RBG has shown a lot of pressure. They have a lot of opportunities, but they don't end up coming away with the first goal. That's a beautiful setup, and it's 2 now as Thunder capitalizing on a wonderful pass from Wizbot.
And it just looks like the way the play that started out is Tool is trying to bring this one downtown, but instead brings it right into the hands of Jay Wiz. And it's unfortunate circumstances there for RBG, because they had so much momentum here in game one, and it all just kind of disappeared on them. And all of a sudden they found themselves in a 2-goal hole, and they're trying to figure out what just happened.
Well, what just happened is they've gone down 2 with 2 minutes gone. And now Warriors International really starting to show some pressure deep in their half. Thunder back out to Wizmont. That's going to be a soft touch, though. Tool able to confidently put that one away. It's Bambi getting a good touch off the backboard, and Tool to follow that up. Thunder looking to receive this in his corner. He doesn't get the boost, but he does get a touch on Bambi. The follow-up touch gets it away from him. And now Wizmont with a long, booming clear. Tool forced to jump early to be able to find that in time. Buddy looks to get that center, but no one quite close enough to find it through. That's a pass. Buddy with the backflip, but he's got time to follow it up and does. He's looking for the double. Wiz is there. That's near target, but just off the bar.
And right there, RBG just gave the entire Warrior offense just so much time there. And you can even see Buddy had to really go out of his way to make second contact on the ball in the middle of the field, and there was just no defensive pressure on him. As what? This one just goes in?
I didn't even see what happened. Buddy goes for the 50, and it just comes off Tool and bounces off the ceiling. Are you kidding? Wow.
Well then, wow, Warriors International really taking advantage of every opportunity they're given. And again, just unfortunate positioning and unfortunate circumstances here for RBG, because they started out this game hot and then all of a sudden they just cooled down.
Yeah, and it's been Warriors International who stayed hot. That's a good demo, though. Could open up some space, but they're just not following it through quickly enough. Thunder was on top of that. And it'll be Buddy getting the beat on that. Porklet sending it downfield to Bambi. That was a wonderful pass. And now Bambi following it up. He's got 2 to beat. Tool lurking right in front of the goal line, but the pass doesn't get off in time. That's a follow-up, but Wismont clearing off the back wall. Follow-up shot from Bandy is going to be off target. Drops it for Porklet, but Buddy gets there in time to keep it away. And now 70 seconds, all that remains, and 3 goals is what RBG has to try and get back here.
And even if they can't score the 3 goals, this is a fantastic start from Porklet, understanding the circumstances, and fantastic setup from Bambi as well to get it past not 1 but 2 defenders, and Jay Wismont in the net. All Porklet had to do was throw it goal side, and it was in. And it's still within reach here for RBG, just a minute to go. But if they can keep this hot streak going with this offensive possession that we've just started seeing, I think they can take it.
Well, they're going to have to do it quickly. Bambi gets it past 1. Well done. Looks to beat Thunder. He does. Wismont finds the touch, but it's still very dangerous for Warriors right now. It's finally cleared back away. Oh, that's not a good position. That's Thunder right on top of it. RBG has to be careful they don't give away possession like that. But now another opportunity developing here on the counter. It's going to be Buddy getting a clear away. 30 seconds, all that remains. Tool, I mean, he gets the boom, but they don't keep possession, and possession is really what they need right now to try and get this downfield.
Yeah, downfield, but again, a little bit of a double commit there. Could have created an offensive opportunity for RBG, but instead it got back into the hands of Warriors International. With 10 seconds to go, it looks like RBG is not going to be able to tie this one up in time. However, even with Buddy scoring here, I still think they built up quite a bit of momentum going into game 2, and I think this could bode well for them.
Yeah, it really feels like a warm-up game for them, because we saw them come out swinging, and then, you know, Warrior International got a couple of really good goals to get them a really padded lead, to be 100% frank. But RBG, they were able to get that one back near the 1-minute mark and start to build a little bit of momentum. I don't know where that momentum went, because it ends up being a 5-1 scoreline to end. But I'm not counting RBG out of this just yet. It's a bad first game, to be 100% certain, but they're going to go into this next one with 5 minutes on the clock and a refreshed scoreboard.
Yeah, and again, though, RBG, we're talking about a lot of things that they can work on, but I think Warriors International did a fantastic job of just setting the pace for this series. I think if they're able to keep the tempo and continue it on going here into game 2, they're going to take it easily. However, on the contrary, though, to think about this, Warriors International weren't really challenged on defense enough, I think, from RBG. And then there were a couple of instances where I was a little bit worried for them on their defensive half, especially with RBG pounding that ball off the backboard quite a bit. And we didn't see that backboard defense come out enough for Warriors International. Lucky for them, RBG wasn't really able to put many shots on target. So they were able to stay alive, and they were able to get through. I think even if RBG scored a couple more goals, it wouldn't have mattered, because it's just how many Warriors Internationals were. Their offense was pretty impeccable in this game.
Yeah, and, you know, when opportunities were coming the way of Warriors International, I think one thing that you can really say for certain about them was just sheer consistency. They didn't really blow any opportunities that happened in that game, and I think that's one of the things that really wasn't the case for RBG, because they inversely had opportunities, but they couldn't either finish them or capitalize on them. I saw multiple times where they had good looks on goal, the angle was there, the space was there, but the shot just couldn't come through. And I think if they can really start to click with their finishing in this next game, we're going to see them be a lot more competitive.
And we can talk a little bit about numbers as well, because Ryan was talking about how Porklet was high in the rankings. I believe he was second in goal participation. But on the flip side here, on Warriors International, we have Jay Wismont, 6th overall for goals per game, 3rd overall for goal participation as well. So we can talk numbers all we want about both these teams, but it's really about who is showing up. And right now, Warriors International doing a great job. Let's see if RBG is able to bring this back here in game 2.
Yeah, well, it's going to take an effort from them. Like you said, Warriors International. I know we've been talking a lot about RBG, but that's because, I mean, there's not a whole lot to comment about Warriors. They're just playing good Rocket League. Their team plays, their solo efforts, their consistency, it's all there. It's their game to win at this point as well. And it's going to be up to RBG to make the change necessary to try and get themselves back in this. Because, I mean, you can't ignore a 5-1 scoreline in the opening match. That is not a good look for a team that's already struggling at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but it's a good look for Warriors International. They're starting this series out strong. Let's see if they can finish this out here in game 2 and get a 2-game lead in this series, potentially on their way to a sweep if they can keep it up. But right now, first, it's going to be RBG with possession as Thunder tries to bring this one out.
Well, Thunder gets the demo. I saw him looking for it. Buddy not able to follow that up in time. It was a smart play, just not quite quickly enough to finish it off. But Thunder not done quite yet with a good hit off the backboard, but Porkley declared back away downfield. He's going to 50 Buddy for this, but Buddy ends up coming away with it. Bambi, good follow through. That's a touch from Wiz. Buddy beating Tool to it. But so far, RBG has had good pressure mounted in this final third of the Warriors half. Porklet again gets one touch over top. Bambi again getting there in time, but the defense coming through for Warriors International. They've held strong so far.
Yeah, in contrast to game 1, we're seeing more of that Warriors International defense as RBG is applying some really good pressure here. They're putting some great opportunities on offense as Tool coming out of nowhere to put that one in. Porklet with the setup and RBG with the lead.
Yeah, and that was just an unfortunate miss initially from Wismont. He had the opportunity to pinch it off the wall, but he just sort of face plants into the wall and misses the ball entirely. So good on RBG for staying in there and for being able to finally get the capitalization they need. They take the lead in this, and now they've just got to try and build themselves more of a gap here. As Bambi looking for the ball, he's able to get it down to Tool, but Tool turns well. It's not well enough, but he's able to beat him to it.
And take a look how Buddy just positions himself so well. You can see Bambi trying to get this ball down to Tool, but instead Buddy catches it and says, oh, I'm going to take this one, flick it right over Tool, who was trying to catch the ball himself, but found himself just out of position. He turned around. When he turned around, there was no chance he's going to be able to save that. Just a really improper position to put yourself in when you're on defense. Unfortunate there for RBG, but Warriors International showing us that even if they're down, they're not quite out.
Yeah, it's a good response from them to get everything back level. Wiz clearing that away. It was looking very dangerous for RBG, but now Thunder gonna lose possession of the ball as Bambi moving this downfield. It'll be Tool off the backboard. Wiz with a soft touch down to Porklet. Thunder back over to Tool, over to Bambi, and it's again gonna be wide. Had a look on goal, just couldn't get it through, and then that was on goal, but saved away by Buddy. Bambi again keeping the ball alive. He's keeping pressure on it. Spent a long time in the Warriors International half so far. They have not been able to find any relief on this pressure. That double commit, though, could provide some relief. It's just Tool back on defense. He's able to keep it away, but that was a scary moment for RBG.
Scary moment, but Tool did a fantastic job wrangling that ball in off his own backboard and wasting so much time allowing for his teammates to get back. What a save! Are you kidding me, Tool? Wow!
How did you find that touch? It was halfway in the goal. He somehow finds the pinch. They could score here, and Tool will do it, slamming that into net. But what a save!
Bastion on defense and steadfast on offense. Tool is everywhere, stepping up here in game 2.
I cannot wait to go back and look at that clip. What a response from RBG again, and they're gonna retake the lead here. Buddy with a bit of a missed touch. It falls right back down the Porklet, but Thunder will be there to clear it away. 2 minutes left in this game as Tool sending that over to Bambi again. It's a great block from Buddy. Wismont there again to keep it off. But now this could be another opportunity opening up. Ceiling and down, Thunder, Tool both trying to get possession. Bambi again, but it's stalwart defense coming out of Warriors International right now. They're holding on. Well, they're only 1 goal down, but they've got about 95 seconds to have a response here. Bambi picking this up in his own half. Thunder, though, getting it off top. Porklet over to Wiz. He's going to get a second touch. Beautifully played. Wow.
Take a look at the shot placement as well. Again, Jay Wismont off his own ceiling, able to put that on net. Just the intricacy of that play. And just the defense had no idea that was coming. That was spectacular.
Oh, it's just really well executed. It was a slow ball off the ceiling, but he read it so well, and the shot was so accurate that no one from RBG really had any sort of response. 65 seconds, all that remains in this match, and we find ourselves back level. Thunder receiving the pass, but it's wide. Buddy will look to follow this through. That's going to get pinched away downfield. Not on target, but surely close as Tool tries to close the gap. It'll be Bambi now off the back wall again. He gets the demolition. Porklet turns, but Wiz able to find the touch yet again. Thunder up to get the block on that as well. And the RBG try as they might, they're going to have to continue to work to try and find the holes in this Warrior International defense.
And we're going to see if they can do anything with 30 seconds left. Jay Wiz, I think he tried to get out of the way of the ball. I think it was going to go in, or might have been met by a defender, but instead he's going to try to bring this one downtown again. And with 17 seconds left, we got Buddy in front of the net with full boost, and here comes Jay Wiz, a shot towards the net. Bambi is there to get in front of it. The Warriors International, though, starting up their offense.
They started up just in time. It looks like we might have overtime, maybe not. Jay Wiz keeping it close. They can't find the follow-up touch. And so overtime it is, with Warriors International being the team that had to claw their way back in this game. We'll see if RBG is able to find a game back here, or if they're going to be facing a series point as Buddy sending this downfield. Jay Wiz slowing it down, gets one touch, not able to beat Porklet. Thunder, though, off the backboard again. Bambi, good read to get that away, and that pass to Tool initially was good, but Tool getting bumped away to keep him off of it.
And right here is where RBG is doing a fantastic job. We're seeing Warriors International bringing that ball downfield with superior speed. But the way that RBG is able to stabilize the play and slow things down to their own tempo is really crushing the Warriors offense here. It's really holding them to this tie game. Is a shot from Bambi. Porklet tried to put it on, but it couldn't. That could have been it.
I was such a good play, a great pass, but he couldn't find the height for it. And so this overtime rages on. 1 minute now passed. As Thunder just taking a probing shot towards net there. Going to fall back down to Tool. He gets it past two. Good opportunity off the backboard. It's going to be Porklet follow-up, but Buddy somehow finds a powerful touch to keep it away. It's not out of danger, though, yet. Thunder clearing that into midfield. Tool not able to find it. It's Bambi with the clear back into this corner. Not able to get it again. Porklet with the drop, but that should be saved the way it is by Buddy. And a good follow-up touch. 90 seconds gone now, and both of these teams having opportunities, but it really feels like RBG has been winning this overtime, but it might be over.
Wow.
Tool somehow again finding a save on the goal line.
And Tool's just everywhere for this team, but Warriors International, they're knocking on the door. Jay Wismont, the pass from Buddy. They take game 2 in overtime.
And they have to reach for this one as well. Buddy gets a great pass. Jay Wiz has to pre-flip to find the touch, but he's able to get it through. And as hard as RBG played that game, they still fall just short. And now they face a series point. This is going to start to get dire for them, George.
It is, but man, Warriors International, as soon as it looks like they're starting to slip away and they're giving more and more room to RBG, they reel it back in. And that's what they're doing a fantastic job of in this series. Now, again, this isn't like game one where they won 4-1, but you can tell when RBG was slowing things down, it kind of made them uncomfortable. But when you see the Warriors go downfield at their own pace, they're making these passes. That's when they're the most deadly. So if they're continuing on here to game 3, I want to see more of that come out from Warriors. If they're able to do that, I think it's going to be no question they're going to be able to take game 3 with ease. But RBG, they're going to have to work extra hard now. They're in reverse sweep territory. It's a tall order to ask of them, but they can do it if they keep on limiting this Warriors International offense.
Yeah, but limiting it is going to be difficult. I mean, as a team, Warriors International, I said it in game 1 and they keep it up in game 2. They have been consistent. They put 12 shots on target. They come away with 7 saves. They're able to respond to situations. They're able to adapt to bring forward the comeback and then stay strong in that overtime to put them on series point. They've got all the momentum behind them right now. It's their series to lose. So they've just got to keep their momentum here and continue to play the way they have, because up to this point, RBG has had very limited responses to it.
Yeah, well, game 3, it's all or nothing here for RBG. Warriors International looking to close this one in an easy sweep. Let's see if they can get this done. A fresh 5 minutes on the clock as Porklet now trying to sustain some offense.
Well, this is going to be hit off the back wall from Tool to start things off. Going to be into this corner. Slow to respond is Warriors International, but as we continue to progress here, it's solid pressure coming out of RBG in this half. Tool trying to get that out in front, but a good block from Buddy to keep it away. Jay Wismont pushing it downfield again. Porklet staying with it. Buddy backtracking to try and slow the ball down here, and it'll be Thunder to take it off. Able to get past one, a demolition coming through, and Tool will have all the space in the world he needs to get that pass over to Porklet. Shot is off but wide. And this game has started off, it feels a little slow, but the opportunities have been there.
Little slow, but again, I'm worried for RBG because they had a demolition on the play, but they took their time to bring that ball out of their own defensive zone, allowing for J-Wiz to respawn and really allowing for Warriors International to reset. I think they played against them, but they're going to get a free shot on net. Warriors International, everyone overextending. And it's just a big mistake on defense.
Yeah, Buddy, last man back, went to go up for it near midfield and got a feels backflip. And it just gives RBG an infinite amount of space where they can just knock that through. A minute 15 in, and it's RBG getting the opening goal. Porklet with an opportunity for a second, but Buddy responds. Tool looking to get it out in front again. That's over top of Thunder. Bambi gets the demolition, but can't get the ball in on net. So close to 2-0 here for RBG, but they continue to press as Porklet dropping it down again, and it's eventually Thunder who's able to come away with a clear to give Warriors some breathing room to get reset on defense.
Yeah, and if you're RBG, you got to keep this offensive pressure going on. You need to limit how much boost you can give to Warriors International, and you need to keep on creating more opportunities. Yes, you have a 1-goal lead, but that is not safe against this squad as Jay Wismont going up for 1v1 against Tool. Can't get it past him. That just shows how deadly he is as a player. You can't give him that much space.
Well, it's Wismont again getting that touch off of Bambi. It's a pass as well to Buddy, but Tool to intercept. Opportunity for Tool as well. It's a slow touch, but it gets past one. Fortunately for them, 2 more defenders stuck on the goal line, able to clear that away. As Porklet gets a flip reset, is right out in front. Tool can't find the follow-up. Bambi could have had an opportunity, but was a bit too far away. So as we cross over into the second half now, it's still a 1-goal lead for RBG, and it feels like Warriors International just hasn't had too many opportunities opening up for them to be able to score downfield.
Yeah, but however, I'm seeing some hesitation on the RBG defense. I think if Warriors International are able to capitalize on that and play a little bit more aggressively when they're on offense, well, it doesn't matter as the complete flip of that happens. Tool coming through, big pass from Bambi and Porklet to get this completely by the entire defense. And RBG holding on to a 2-0 lead here.
So it looks like we are going to have a server reset real quick. There's been a couple of complaints of lag. We want to make sure that we keep the competitive integrity of everything. So we're going to quickly grab a new server. It's going to be 202 on the board when we come back with 2 goals in favor of RBG on the score line. But once we do get back into this game, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Warriors International starts to adjust their play style to be able to respond and potentially try to push themselves back in this game. It's just felt like it's not been the same team that played in the first 2 to this point.
Well, something that I've been noticing on the RBG defense is that they've been giving opportunities to Warriors International. However, I see or sense really a little bit of hesitation from their offense, and maybe it's because they want to conserve boost, so they don't want to overextend, because that's how RBG was able to score last game. But it's not helping them out at all. If I'm Warriors International right now, I would keep on pressing as hard as you can, with reason, of course. And I think that they're going to be able to tie this one up if they keep at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can as well. But on the side of RBG, you know, they've been playing well, and they need to try and just maintain that momentum as much as they can here. One of the big things for them, like we were mentioning in the breaks and like we were talking about, is consistency. And that's something that we've gotten to see from them in this game 3, which has been good to see. And I just want to see them try and continue that once this game actually is able to resume.
I agree. I think right now for RBG, you're in a tough spot. I mean, granted, you still have a 2-goal lead here as we're going ahead and resetting this game. But again, Warriors International, I think they have ample opportunity to kind of reset themselves. And that's, it's fortunate for them. It's unfortunate for RBG because they're out of chances. So we're going to have to see what they can do, as we're currently still resetting the game for y'all at home to keep integrity up, of course. But ahead going forward here, RBG, I mean, I still think it's a close series.
No, I mean, I agree with you as well. I think RBG still has what it takes to try and get themselves back in. It's just going to take some work, and we've seen them start to put in that work in this game 3. They've got a 2-goal lead. There's 2:02 that will be remaining on the clock when we resume. And if they can hold on to that, you know, the series is still manageable for them. If they can come away with a win here, then it's only 2-1 at that point. You've got momentum from the win that you can try and take into game 4. And then if we can make it to a game 5 is where I think it'll truly start to become interesting, because that's when both of these teams are going to be in a oh crap type situation, and really we're going to potentially see a lot of good Rocket League, but it's going to be up to RBG to get there first.
Yeah, and again, the ball's in their park. They are going to have a 2-goal lead here. They just have to finish this game. Warriors International, though, has proven to us this series that they can bring it back. But going forward, for Warriors International, again, they lost only so far the top 4 teams here in the rival series. So if they're able to come back and take not just this game, but maybe just the whole series here, going forward, I believe they have some really not easy matches per se, but matches that I think they are competent enough to win. And overall, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough because they still have to play Charlotte Phoenix, Monkey Business, and Stromboli, and also 72-pin Connector. Now, a couple of those teams, granted, Charlotte Phoenix, even though they're 2-2, I think their record doesn't show how strong of a team they really are. I think they're a very competitive one, so I don't think that's a must, or not a must win per se, but a guaranteed win here for Warriors International. But just playing through and kind of realizing their scenario, well, I think, and it's a stretch to say that they're completely out of top 3 contention, I still think they have a very valid chance of making it through and qualifying for next season of the rival series.
Yeah, and you know, taking a look at Warriors International as well. If they do manage to come back here in this game and take this series, whether it's in this game 3 or later on, they've got a good road ahead of them. They are by no means out of the running just yet. So this is still just as important for them because, I mean, while they're sitting at 8th, you know, the midway point of the season, this could be a turning point as we are finally getting back underway with the game. I'm curious to see what response they have here as we close out this game 3. 2 minutes remaining, 2-0 in favor of RBG, and it's Warriors International trying to put the initial pressure back downfield, but it's Tool who's going to send it back into their half. Good follow-up from Porklet, and then Buddy to clear it away. Buddy actually with a good opportunity on that as well, was looking to try and find Jay Wismont, but he doesn't, and Bambi gonna find the back of the net. 3-0 now in favor of RBG.
And RBG just back in it. Unfortunate circumstances there for Thunder. Just jumped a little too late on that one. Bambi able to bring it over him with ease. 3-0 RBG, and it looks like they're still on chugging through here in game 3. Let's see if they lose steam and if Warriors International are able to bring it back.
Well, it's a good follow-up touch there from Tool. My goodness, to stay on top of that. Buddy, though, looking for Jay Wismont across field. It's going to be a missed touch. Almost finds the follow-up, though, to send that back on target. That's going to be sent down from Tool, who's looking to follow it up, but Wismont going to beat him to it. Bambi with control, but it's blocked away from Thunder. 1 minute remaining, 3 goals is not looking good for Warriors International in this game. RBG starting to mount a bit of a comeback, but they've still got a ways to go to get themselves back level in this series. But, you know, this feels like it could just be an off game for Warriors International. We've seen them be fairly dominant in the past, too. And with this game coming down to a close, the final 30 seconds coming through here, it's got to be RBG to try and maintain this momentum, because if they let off the gas even a bit, it's going to be Warriors International right back in there.
Yeah, and this is where it's going to really test this RBG squad as they put another one towards the net. Bambi almost coming through for that one again. And maybe this will play out into RBG's favor going into game 4, as they're attempting now they're in a good position to tie up this series. And a little unconventional here in game 3, but they get the W no matter what. Warriors International unable to come back through and tie things up. So interestingly enough, we're going to have to see what RBG can do from here on. The ball is kind of in their court, but I mean, they can't make any more mistakes.
No, especially not with how Warriors International is playing, because they've been capitalizing on the opportunities when they've come their way. And with a fresh start in this game 4, especially now that we've got this new server, it's going to be, I think, Warriors International, we're going to see them come out with a lot of speed in this game 4, because they don't want to go to that game 5. They want to try and lock it down here and walk away with the win, because they need this win to give them the fuel to move throughout the rest of the season. Warriors International, you know, it's still the halfway point, but they've got a potential to try and sneak their way into the top 3 still. Anything is possible for them, and it starts with a victory here. If they can build off of a victory in this series, we can really start to see this team potentially stack momentum on top of momentum and really pave a way for them to try and do something more than what we've seen from them up to this point this season.
Again, we're going to have to see what they can do. And I'm actually very curious to see if Ryan will be correct in this series. And of course, if he is, I'll give him all the credit he needs to get. But again, it seems like momentum in RBG's favor, and they're already starting out hot with some great offensive possession here off the kickoff. As wow, Pork almost getting a great opportunity. And this is the kind of speed we want to see from RBG early on. They do not want to give any sort of momentum here to Warriors International as the demos are starting to come out.
It's starting to turn into a much more physical level of play as well with those demos. And I think that's going to be a critical moment as even more demos coming at this point. That's something, especially at this level, that can clear a lot of space. And I'm surprised it's taken this long for these two teams to really start to implement them.
It's game 4, a lot on the line here. Both these teams making adjustments in and out in this series. It's a completely different scenario from game 1. It's actually kind of amazing, in my opinion, how these teams have been trading back and forth. And that was scary close for the RBG defense. That was a little bit wild.
And it's been close calls on both sides as both of these teams understand how critical it is to try and get the lead here in this game 4, especially if you're Warriors International. Buddy, man, beautiful pass over to him in the midfield. He just couldn't quite find the touch. And now quick on the counter is RBG. Tool looking to maintain possession. He's going to back off of it. It's Porklet winning it that 50-50. Bambi winning his. Thunder finally going to clear that away downfield. That's on target as well. Tool having to turn to get that away. It's going to be Bambi with a good first touch. Second touch against Thunder as it floats in midfield. Tool getting a block, getting a touch on net, but saved away again by Buddy. And it feels like RBG is getting control, and then you're just taking shots that feel a bit of a stretch. And I think if they were to start maybe controlling it a bit more, it would look better for them, because control is what we saw from them and what I think really won them the game in the last one.
Well, I think right now for RBG, they're looking for more quantity than quality. That is hurting their chances on offense. I'm very curious to see Warriors International. They're kind of playing the patient game here. They're waiting to strike on the unsuspecting RBG defense. They're trying to, and you can tell by the way that they're moving the ball around field, they're trying to get them to double commit. They're trying to get them to over commit. They're trying to play off of those mistakes. I'm very curious to see when RBG will make one and see if Warriors International will be able to take advantage, but they forced the mistake there. The demo from Jay Wiz, I believe that was on, must have been Porklet, I think. Just open things up. Sorry, it was on Tool. Open things up for Thunder. And basically, Brett, if you're at Warriors International and you're waiting for RBG to make a mistake, no, you're going to make them make the mistake.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't wait around. You've got to take the initiative and do it yourself. That's exactly what they do there. If you can't find holes, you make them. It was a great play from Warriors International. It puts them in the lead. Now the death counter beginning for RBG in this game, and it's beginning with very limited time left on the clock. Tool trying to style his way downfield. It's going to be Porklet, though, to block that through. He's going to follow it up off Jay Wismont's missed touch. Thunder forced to clear it off his back wall. 90 seconds remain as Tool picking this up, looking for the pinch off the sidewall. And Bambi now corralling that in his own corner. Looks for a flip reset, but he can't find the touch. And so it's Jay Wiz again, but cleared away from Porklet. That's on target. No one gonna respond. And from all the way downtown, RBG get themselves back level.
And this is just Warriors International just caught off guard. Fantastic job from Porklet, able to hit that one all the way over into the net. Don't know exactly if that's where he was aiming, but I think, again, just trying to bring that pressure downfield and making every opportunity and taking it, that's going to lead to chances like that.
Well, with the game back level now, things are going to start to get really interesting. 1 minute left on the clock. An opportunity for a Tool just high off the bar, and it'll be Jay Wismont. He's got control, got one to beat. He gets it in front. Thunder putting it through. Very close, though, Jay Wismont, to saving that by mistake.
Yeah, but also here's just what Warriors International have been doing so well, and it's the transition plays. RBG, they had a shot opportunity on net, but they couldn't put it on target. You have to do that every single time here in the rival series, or else you're going to get punished just like that, because they also overextended. They played all of their cards in their hand. and they came out just a little bit unlucky there, and now they're just going to try to scramble here in the last 30 seconds of this match to tie this one up, or it's going to be game over.
Well, let's see if they've got it in them. It's do or die time. They've got to try and come up with something here. Wismont had control, but lost it off of a missed touch. Buddy knocking it down. Tool to pick it up. He's going to go airborne, try and follow this through. It's a good touch over to Bambi, but Wismont reading it good. 10 seconds left. RBG faced with annihilation in this game. Buddy sending it through on net again. It's cleared from Tool, but they can't maintain pressure. They have to keep it in the air. They can't let it touch the ground, and there's no one nearby. And that's going to touch, and Warriors International going to take it in 4. But what an interesting game.
Yeah, wow. Warriors International just proving to us time and time again that they're not quite out of it just yet, taking down RBG in a very close series, I would say. And goodness, I think this, of course, went against our predictions. I was following the hype. I thought for sure that RBG was going to come through and take the W, but Warriors International is showing us that they're very steadfast in their gameplay. They do not sway that easily. And again, they just punished RBG this entire series. They're able to get the W in 4.
Yeah, now RBG falls to 0-5 on the season, 6-16 on the overall game record. It is not looking good for them. And you know whose opinion I think is going to be really interesting, especially considering his choice. Ryan, what do you think of what we just saw unfold on field?
I mean, first off, I was right, so I'm pretty happy about that. You know,
I'm over today.
Called it in 4, so you know, I finally got my one prediction I needed for the day. You know, I can rest easy even if I get this wrong. So I mean, definitely it was a great game, but it's about what I was kind of expecting. I expected Warriors International to come out and look very good. Again, RBG though, they were still in search of that first victory. And that was one of the main reasons that I had concerns about this team, and part of why I just couldn't get myself to come pick them. Despite how much I love this team, I just couldn't get myself to do it. But really, I just kind of want to ask you guys some questions, and I'll start with you, Sleegy. Just what are some issues that you were noticing about this RBG team? Because we saw a couple of things. I mean, we saw them fire up there in the third game, but those first 2 games, it just seemed like it took a while for them to get ready to go.
Well, I think part of what RBG's issue is they were really aggressive, and aggression is good. Over-aggression on the second hand, not quite as much. And I feel like they were leaving too much space open behind them. And with how consistent, and I mean consistent, Warriors International were when they got control of the ball, it's death to give them the amount of space that RBG was giving them. And I really think that was their downfall. We saw in game 3, their defensive rotations were a lot cleaner and a lot more put together, but they just couldn't emulate that the rest of the series.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were saying, they gave them quite a bit of space. And at this level, you really have to make sure that you're ready to get up and challenge the ball pretty frequently. You've got to put the stop on those offensive moves. And George, I just kind of want to, again, on the flip side of things, what were some of the things that Warriors International were doing right that you just want to see them continue through the rest of the season? Because now they have 2 wins under their belt, and they're looking a bit better for the season. They're looking a bit better. I mean, what you were saying, they moved all the way up to, what is it, 5th, 6th place now after having that win? Or did they have to sweep for that win?
They would have had to sweep for 6th place, so they're currently going to be at 7th, just below absolute leverage because of game differential. But here's something that I really did like about Warriors International is that they took advantage of lots of defensive errors. And something else that I thought was very important that maybe some people might not have caught just watching this series is how well they were able to adjust against RBG. We saw game 1, they were able to take it 4-1 with ease. It almost looked like they were going to cruise to an easy 3-0 victory. However, RBG started to bring it back a little bit in game 2. They still lost to Warriors International in a 3-2 bout in game 2, but they were able to take game 3, and I think they were able to change their play style a bit to be more aggressive. And that's where I really think Warriors International did a fantastic job, was that in game 4 they adjusted to that and they played to that aggression. They forced the mistakes out of RBG and they're able to lock down the win. So I think being able to change their play style mid-series was very beneficial for them. Of course, we expect all of the teams here in the rival series to be able to make those sort of adjustments to take those W's. They did a fantastic job of showcasing it here in this series.
Well, I mean, and also one of the other things to your point is they had a nice buffer. Having 2 wins already into the series, you can easily lose this game and then you still have one more to go. Like, they had time to kind of work out the kinks against what RBG had changed up on their offensive side. So it definitely gave Warriors time to kind of work things out. But at the end of the day, it's just not going to be enough here for RBG. Warriors take the series 3-1 for the Warriors versus RBG matchup. Guys, we're going to be back in a little bit with some more Rocket League. But first, if you enjoy all the music that you see during our Be Right Back screens and all that stuff, you can do !music there in chat, and you can go check out our artists who helped make all that music for us. We have people ask about it all the time, so we figured we'd let you guys know where to go find that. But guys, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with Monkey Business versus Omni Nation, our final matchup of the day. Stick around for more Rival Series North American action.